It is strange how your mind can stay completely quiet all day, and then suddenly start screaming the moment the room gets dark. You lie down to rest. But instead of peace, your brain decides to pull up every unfinished thought, every unfinished conversation, every awkward memory from years ago, every fear about the future, and every question you were too distracted to hear earlier. And the worst part is, nothing might even be wrong in that exact moment. Yet your mind acts like it has to solve your entire life before you're allowed to fall asleep. Tonight, I want to explain why this happens. Not in a vague, you just overthink way, but through actual psychology. We are going to look at what your brain is doing at night, why your emotions get so loud, and why tiny thoughts suddenly feel huge. Because once you understand the pattern, it stops feeling like you are broken, and starts feeling like your mind is just doing exactly what tired human minds do. During the day, your attention is constantly hijacked. Classes, work, messages, tiny urgencies. Your brain is stuck in reaction mode, just surviving the noise. But at night, the external stimulation fades, and when the outside world gets quieter, the inside world gets louder. Psychology has a simple explanation for this. Thoughts that were pushed aside during the day don't just disappear, they wait. Night doesn't always create new worries. It just reveals the ones you never had time to process. That is why the same mind that looked completely fine at 2 p.m. can feel overwhelming at 12:30 a.m. Not because your problems grew, but because there is finally enough silence to notice them. This is where the science kicks in. At night, your brain isn't just quiet, it is exhausted. And when mental energy drops, self-control drops with it. The part of your brain involved in planning and regulating emotion, the prefrontal cortex, doesn't work as sharply when you're tired. Think of it as your brain's bouncer. During the day it says, this thought is useless. We can deal with this tomorrow. But at night, the bouncer goes home. The tired brain becomes vulnerable to loops. One question becomes 5. One memory chains into 10. A lot of night thinking isn't deeper thinking. It's just unfiltered thinking. Human brains despise unfinished things. Psychologists call our tendency to fixate on uncompleted tasks the Zeigarnik effect. Unanswered texts, a problem you couldn't solve. Unmade decisions, things you wish you had said differently. Your brain is desperately trying to complete a pattern and reduce uncertainty. And bedtime is the perfect opening for that instinct to strike. It scans. Did we miss anything? Are we safe? What happens tomorrow? The goal is protection, but the result feels like torture. There is also an emotional amplifier at play. At night, you are physically vulnerable. You're tired, you are alone, and you are sensitive. That combination turns the volume all the way up. A thought that feels totally manageable in the afternoon can feel heavy, personal, and urgent at night. This is why people question their entire life, their relationships, and their worth after midnight. Your mind says, this feels serious, so it must be true. But feelings aren't perfect proof. Sometimes nighttime thinking only sounds wise because it arrives in a quiet room with a tired nervous system. Here is the biggest trap. Overthinking disguises itself as problem solving. It feels responsible. It feels like if you just think a little harder, you'll finally land on the right answer. But rumination is not the same as reflection. Reflection moves. Rumination circles. Reflection gives clarity. Rumination just keeps asking the same question wearing different clothes. The brain loves the illusion that more thinking equals more control. At night, it usually just means more looping. So if your mind becomes loud tonight, it doesn't automatically mean you are broken, dramatic, or incapable of coping. It simply means the world finally got quiet, your brain got tired, and the unresolved noise rose to the surface. That is a profoundly human experience. The goal isn't to never think at night. The goal is to notice when your mind has stopped helping and started circling. Because some thoughts need action, but some thoughts only need mourning. And sometimes the healthiest thing you can tell yourself at 2 a.m. is, this feels important right now, but I do not have to solve it in this state. That isn't avoidance, that is wisdom.